You're watching 5 Star Live. East Tennessee's #1 post-game high school football show. Live on location from the biggest game of the week. Live interviews from the winning coaches and players, along with highlights from other big games from around Tennessee. Your host, Jesse Smithy, with decades of experience covering high school sports, and his 5-star preps team will update you on games as they become final, and will break down region outlooks and what's to come for your favorite football teams and top players. Now, get ready for the most comprehensive high school football coverage in Tennessee on 5 Star Live.
Welcome in, everybody, to 5 Star Live, Week 3 edition, live from Maryville High School, joined by Derek Hunt, head football coach at Maryville High School, coming off a big win tonight over Cleveland. And we'll get to you in just a second, Derek, but just want to welcome everybody in. Might be watching on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Thank you for watching. Thank you to John H. Coleman for sponsoring what we do on Friday nights, and just a great company, and glad that they're a part of high school sports yet again with 5 Star Preps. As I mentioned, we're joined by Derek Hunt tonight in Week 3. And Derek, let's talk about y'all's game tonight. Maybe offensively, not the crispest of first halves, if that's a word, crispest, but yeah. But you guys got the job done there in the second half and put them away. And just where do you assess this performance tonight? You had a weird off week there in Week 2.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very pleased. I mean, I only had 3 possessions in the first half.
Yeah.
So Cleveland did a really good job of controlling the clock, kept the ball from us. Mm-hmm. You know, we scored on 2 out of 3, and then the other one we fumbled. On the goal? They're about the 10-yard line, 10 or 15-yard line.
Was that a fumble? It looked like just
it was close.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not trying to get you to put everybody on blast.
No, well, I wouldn't anyway.
Yeah.
But we'll watch the tape and find out, I guess. But it was close enough to. We don't want to put it in the referee's hands. You know, that's on us, no matter what. So, you know, we just got to make a play. But yeah, I mean, I was pleased. Obviously, defensively, kind of bend but don't break. Mm-hmm. And gosh, that's a really good football team, Jesse. Yeah. I think they're going to make some noise later in the year, and was obviously really well coached, and so I think they're going to be a tough out.
Yeah, they were able to run the ball at times and throw the ball downfield a little bit. But back to your team's offense, coming in, there was such a question mark around Maryville about what's this team going to look like, because you lost 30 seniors, you lost, 17 starters. That first week, you guys went out and put up a lot of points. How difficult was that to go into Week 2 and just hit the pause button again?
It was not fun, you know, I mean, because you build up some momentum, you know, after that first game. And, you know, I think we scored – first 6 times we touched the ball, you know, we were able to score in Week 1, and then, you know, turn around and not get to play Week 2 and kind of maintain that momentum. You know, I didn't like that at all. But I do think we got better, you know, over I guess the bye week, Week 2. That was new to us. But, you know, come out, get to play a really good Cleveland team. And so, I mean, I really do think that they'll make some noise down the road.
Jared, let's go ahead and play some highlights from tonight. You mentioned the Cleveland team, and Tracy Malone, who was at West High School last year, he's now their offensive coordinator.
Does a great job.
Did you have to study West last year to maybe kind of guess what they might do, or could you see them on film and have a good sample size there?
Yeah, I mean, well, we had 2 games worth, and you know, I think early on in the season, pretty much every football team that you saw was rusty, you know, just because of the conditions that we were in this year.
Right.
So no, I mean, I think we had 2 games worth, but he does a phenomenal job. Both their coordinators do a great job, and they've got some really good players too.
We start off the night, you get a heavy dose of Parker McGill, and he was just a workhorse all night long.
Yeah, and we're going to go as he goes. He's got to make sure he touches the ball, and he was really good tonight. And our offensive line, I thought, did a great job, and they'd make it tough on you, defensive line with the slant and stuff, but we were able to make some holes.
Travis Reeder gets a big interception there.
Love that kid. I mean, he's just the delayed gratification of waiting until your senior year. He works hard every offseason and gets his chance, and he's seizing the moment.
Noah Vaughn is a guy that we're starting to see more of this year, a sophomore. We first saw him as a defensive back in the Futures game, but, I mean, he's become quite the running back for you guys.
He's a great little mix-up for Parker. Catches the ball really nice, really athletic, and tough. I'm really excited about Noah.
We talked about Cleveland being able to run the football a little bit. I mean, really between the tackles, they had some big guys up front.
Well, they got some size, and they got one of the best running backs we'll see all year. I mean, he's a phenomenal football player and was great last year as a sophomore, and so, you know, he's tough to bring down. One guy won't.
But y'all get the big stop there on 4th down, and here coming up, I think y'all had an 84-yard touchdown pass right here to Parker McGill on a screen that was just perfectly executed. I don't know if I saw the penalty, but it got called back, and
yeah, I mean, it's another one of those could go either way calls, kind of blocking the side, back. They call it blocking the back, kind of on the side. But, again, we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Let's just not do it.
But still, you got the ball at midfield, and you find Markel Fortenberry, and he's a guy at wide receiver who's really starting to come into his own.
He really is. I mean, got all the measurables. He only played football for like 3-4 years, so he's just now learning kind of what to do, but we're excited about him.
We're seeing you guys defensively here in the second half. Were there adjustments, or was this just an effort thing as far as –
Yeah, definitely adjustments. I think our defensive staff does a phenomenal job of making some of those adjustments, and so they definitely did a lot of that at halftime.
Seeing DJ Burks again on a kind of a Wildcat package, is that something new that y'all have kind of instilled?
Yeah, I mean, we did it with AJ last year, but DJ's a guy that has to touch the football, so he's going to have a plan every game.
And, of course, Parker McGill gets into the end zone again. I think he had 3 touchdowns in week 1 in that win over William Blunt, and a couple of touchdowns tonight, and then DJ Burks, another interception. I mean, the guy's just kind of a do-it-all player for you guys.
We just call him football players. He's a football player and has a nose for the ball.
All right. So, I mean, you guys wrap up the win tonight kind of in easy fashion. Now you start to turn your focus to next week, week 4 against Alcoa. That game is here, I believe, right?
Yep.
Okay. Just a lot of people talking about Alcoa's defense yet again. They returned so much from last year, but what have you seen out of them on film?
Yeah, they should talk about their defense. They're pretty stout, and and their offense is really good too. I think their defense is so good, their offense gets overshadowed. But this might be. I think I said last year, this is probably one of the most talented Alcoa teams that I've ever seen, and somehow they're more talented this year. It may be the best that I've ever seen. And watching them against Blackman, and I know they weren't as crisp as probably they wanted to be against Blackman, but they're still really good.
Yeah.
And beat a 6A team. So, but we've got a young team. And so I'm excited about this game because you'll find out where we're at. We want to play these big games earlier in the year and expose our kids to this, and we'll learn really quickly if we can hang or not.
You come out here to Maryville High School tonight, and there's the social distancing. There's a reduced capacity. The juice and the energy, maybe it doesn't feel the same. Do you think you'll be able to kind of recreate that, though, for next week? I mean, how are y'all going about approaching crowds and everything?
Yeah, I think so. But, I mean, I've played in Maryville Alcoa games and certainly coached in them. And after about the first 2 or 3 plays, it's just football, and it's a chess match, and it's physical, and you're just playing football. And so I think there'll be I think it'll still be really good energy. I think there'll still be, as good a crowd as we can have, whatever that might be. So Maryville Alcoa is fun no matter what. So we're excited for it.
I'm going to put you on the spot here, and you don't have to answer it.
Okay.
But one of my favorite parts of the Alcoa-Maryville rivalry would be that pregame moment where Quarles or you would go out to midfield at some point and talk with Gary Rankin, and it's these 2 legendary programs and communities just in that little 3-foot circle. It was just kind of a special moment. What do y'all talk about? Can you mention what y'all talk about in that moment, just kind of pregame?
With Coach Rankin, we're usually talking about my family. And, I mean, every time I talk to Coach Rankin, he asks about my family. And that means a lot to me. And, his 2 boys, played at Alcoa, and so we're talking about his family. And I like a lot of those guys, and they got their 2 coordinators went to Maryville, and we're good friends. I like a lot of those guys on staff. And so, I mean, for a big rivalry, there's a lot of good relationships between Maryville Alcoa. I know some people don't want to think that, but I mean, there really is.
Yeah. Well, Derek, congratulations on the win tonight. We'll see you guys next week against Alcoa, and best of luck in that game.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right. Don't go anywhere. We're going to get you guys involved on the show like always. We're doing giveaways. We're doing trivia questions tonight. So we're going to roll the trivia questions. You get on Twitter or social media and hashtag what you need to hashtag for your answer, and you can win some prizes. Let's get to tonight's trivia question.
Gold Star Nutrition presents East Tennessee High School Trivia. If you know the answer to the question, tweet it and use the hashtag 5StarLive, and you could win a free cryotherapy session and a $25 gift card from Gold Star Nutrition. Tonight's trivia question is, in what year did Maryville High School win a state basketball championship on a 3-pointer at the buzzer in overtime? Know the answer? Tweet it and use the hashtags 5StarLive, and we will randomly select the winner from those with correct answers. Thanks for playing trivia with 5 Star Live and Gold Star Nutrition.
County, just off of I-75 at exit 122, Rocky Top Realty stands ready to give our clients a real estate experience like no other. While we are located in Anderson County, we work in all of Knoxville and the surrounding areas. Our staff will get to know you and your real estate needs. We will work in tandem with you to achieve your forever home, build site, vacation home, or investment goal. Find us online at rockytophomeinfo.com or give us a call at 865-498-0183.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your exterior needs. Visit us today at 5618 North Broadway.
Since 1945, the John H. Coleman Company has been serving the East Tennessee area. We wouldn't have made it for 75 years without the experience and hard work of our quality employees. When it comes to heating and air conditioning, our goal is to make your experience stress-free, whether buying a new unit or servicing your current equipment. The way we do that is making sure you have the information you need to make the right decision. East Tennessee is our home, too. We've proudly served you for 75 years and look forward to serving you for many years to come. John H. Coleman Company, trusted since 1945.
Welcome back, everybody. Jesse Smithy along with Kevin Smith, my co-host here on 5 Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman. And Kevin, you told me this was your first trip to Maryville High School. What did you think?
I loved it. I loved the atmosphere. Loved just the area. Love how the stadium looks. Just everything about Maryville. Really enjoyed seeing the atmosphere here.
It was still weird, though. As I mentioned to Derek Hunt in the first segment, I missed the seniors sitting on the rail in front of the student section, and they're all spread out, and there's reduced amount of people, and I just didn't get that same juice, that same energy that I'm accustomed to on Friday Night Football. But at certain moments, the student section was there, and it was just typical Maryville football game.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with seeing the crowd tonight. With everything that we have going on, the stadium was well attended, both as the fan section and in the student section. It was good to see everybody get involved as well. The band was able to get going, the dance team, and the cheerleaders. So I really thought overall, for what we've got going on, Maryville really put on a show tonight. Yeah.
Jared, let's go ahead and roll those clips, and Kevin and I are going to kind of break down what we saw tonight. And Maryville comes into this game. See all the championships. They're one behind Alcoa and all-time state titles. I got that 2019 banner up now. Maryville comes in at 1-0. Really had a weirdly placed off week there in week 2, I guess because of COVID, if I remember correctly, and had to kind of regain some early momentum with their offense.
Yeah, I think Coach Hunt really spoke to that. That's very difficult to do when you had some momentum coming in the game. But what I really liked about tonight, Jesse, is I feel like we saw it all from Maryville offensively. They were very efficient. I mean, after a turnover inside the red zone on the first possession, they scored on 4 of their next 5 possessions, and we saw everything from power, the inside run game with Parker McGill. We saw Wildcat with DJ Burks. We saw outside throws to get the wide receivers involved, and then we saw over the middle to a very good-looking young man in Markel Fortenberry for the touchdown. They showed us everything tonight and were very efficient offensively.
Yeah, and you and I have talked about Parker McGill before, and that's Noah Vaughn at running back number 2, and Parker McGill gets into the end zone on this 3-yard touchdown run. Last year, he ran for 1,200 yards, and he sat in the shadow of T. Hodge, but really, he was the consistent guy at running back last year.
Yeah, and he's so tough. He's low to the ground. He's very, very built. This is a young man that's a tough, hard-nosed runner, and then when he gets in the open field, he's got the speed to take it the distance. So you saw it tonight. He's a very tough runner. He's hard to bring down. Very efficient offensively tonight by Maryville, and it's good to see after that off week that they continue to roll on offense.
But Cleveland did run the football well against them, especially between the tackles, and other than that 4th and 2 stopping, Maryville at times kind of struggled to stop the run, but they made some adjustments there in the second half and did much, much better.
Well, I think people outside of Knoxville need to remember this name, Tito Boyd, the running back from Cleveland. Very impressed with him tonight. Hard-nosed runner, very good running back. And they did at times have trouble shutting him down. But, hey, it's bend, don't break. They're going to get their yards between the 20s, stop them in the red zone. And Maryville did that tonight on 2 4th downs. Cleveland tried to stay in the game there to get the 4th down conversions, and Maryville made big stops when they had to.
Yeah, and you can see them making some big stops now. This is early in the second half to really put the clamps down on Cleveland High School and really start to assert themselves as the better football team in this game.
Yeah, and it was very impressive. Coming out of the second half, Cleveland got the football first. Maryville did a good job on defense getting them stopped, and then it was kind of downhill from there for Cleveland as far as Maryville's offense just started to roll in the second half. And really what Coach Hunt was saying is they didn't even have very many possessions in the first half. Cleveland was milking the clock, running the football, and running effectively. And again, kudos to the Maryville defense. They were able to get the stops when they had to on 4th downs when Cleveland was trying to go for it.
DJ Burks comes up with that interception, and I love DJ Burks. He was a sophomore last year, the only underclassman in that secondary, and now he comes into his junior year. He kind of comes into his own as a defensive leader and also playing some Wildcat quarterback. And as you mentioned, Maryville just kind of showed a little bit of everything today, and that has to make them feel good going into that matchup against Alcoa. They have to be on point against this Alcoa defense.
Yeah, and I think, too, you want to see him defensively. They had multiple picks tonight, and they did a good job squatting on some routes and really did a good job snuffing out some of Cleveland's pass game. But I think, too, a part of why we saw so much tonight, and the coaches will do this sometimes, when you have a big game the next week, they gave Alcoa plenty to work on, especially with defensively. Alcoa's got a lot to work on with what Maryville showed tonight, from the Wildcat to the outside passing game and to the power game with Parker McGill. So good job tonight putting things on film and being efficient for Maryville.
From your coaching perspective, you talk to these coaches and it's one game at a time, blah, blah, blah. I hear that every year. But tell me this, if you were on Alcoa's staff, would you have been kind of secretly working on Maryville stuff back in week 1?
Well, I mean, yes. They all talk that game. Mm-hmm. And, yes, there are certain games that you have, circled, especially region games. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're already prepared or you've already done some off-season work. So when that game comes, like tonight, you're not starting from scratch tonight or tomorrow morning with this coaching staff. They've already done some homework. They're already ahead of the game, ready for this. But I will say this. They do get back and focused on the game at hand, because Cleveland came out here and showed they had a very tough running back, a very big and physical offensive line. They gave Maryville problems the entire first half, including keeping their offense off the field. So you can't look ahead, and you definitely can't let your kids do that. But, yes, they do it all off season. They've got certain games that they're preparing for so that they're not behind come Friday and Saturday night.
It's going to be interesting to see how Alcoa adjusts. We remember back to week 1 in their game against Blackman. They had 4 new offensive linemen out there. They had 2 new quarterbacks, and we'll see just how much they have grown in the last 3 weeks next week in week 4 when they take on Maryville. We're going to get to a break. Stay with us. When we come back, we're going to our Waffle House hotline. We're going to have Alcoa defensive end Gray Carroll, the Georgia Tech commit, live right here on 5 Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman.
Cooper Container, your corrugated packaging specialist for the East Tennessee area. Proud sponsor of high school sports in the 5 Star Preps coverage area.
Great ones make the plays. The dedicated ones never quit. Weekend warrior or professional, all athletes get hurt. And when you do, Tennessee Orthopedic Clinic's comprehensive sports medicine team is ready to take you on. The power of results.
I think it's great. I mean, I love worshiping and learning about God and learning better ways to be a man of God.
There's no way that you can come here and your relationship with Jesus not get stronger. It's just so powerful. The Holy Spirit is just so powerful at this camp.
I just feel like this is a lot more than just like people coming together and having fun. Like, it just helps people grow towards Christ.
The John H. Coleman Company has been serving the East Tennessee area. We wouldn't have made it for 75 years without the experience and hard work of our quality employees. When it comes to heating and air conditioning, our goal is to make your experience stress-free, whether buying a new unit or servicing your current equipment. The way we do that is making sure you have the information you need to make the right decision. East Tennessee is our home, too. We've proudly served you for 75 years and look forward to serving you for many years to come. John H. Coleman Company, trusted since 1945.
Welcome back, everybody, into 5 Star Live. Make sure you're sending us your answers for your trivia question. That trivia question was, what year did Maryville High School win a basketball state championship with a three-pointer at the buzzer? Send us your answer on Twitter, hashtag it 5 Star Live, and you'll have a chance to win some unbelievable prizes from Gold Star Nutrition. Check that out. Send us your answer, and we'll announce that maybe, I think, segment 4 coming up at the end of the show. So we now go to our Waffle House hotline where we are with Gray Carroll, Alcoa defensive lineman. I promise you we did not plan this. Gray, just tell everybody where you're at right now.
So I'm at Waffle House right now. Totally, I did not plan this with Jesse at all. I mean, I just, I'm here with my friends and stuff, but yeah.
I mean, is Waffle House like the go-to place for Alcoa after the game?
Well, for me and my family, yeah, because a lot of things over here aren't open. It's either this or IHOP, basically. Okay.
So well, we don't like the 4-letter place. This is all Waffle House. Waffle House hotline. What's your go-to meal at Waffle House, by the way?
The All-Star Special.
All right.
Triple hash brown.
Okay. So
yes, sir.
Another win for you guys tonight, 38-0. I think everybody expected that. Did you guys even give up a yard this game? I mean, I think coming into tonight against Scott, y'all had only allowed 7 yards total.
Wait, say that again. You said we only had 7?
I think through the first 2 games, y'all had only allowed 7 yards total offense, and just wondering how tonight went in that 38-0 win.
Sorry, sir. I'm having trouble hearing you.
I was just wondering about how y'all's defense did tonight. I mean, I know y'all threw a shutout, but just how do y'all think y'all did, and how did it go?
Oh, as a team, I felt like we did a very good job on defense. We just got out there and did our job. We played hard, hustled to the ball. They did well because they lined up 2 tight ends and tried to run on us. Mm-hmm. They did the best that they could do, I feel like. But as a defense, I'm satisfied.
This was your first game back, so I wonder how much you got to play, because there's a big game next week with Maryville, obviously, and just wondered how much you played tonight and what you thought about being back for the first time.
I actually played pretty much the whole first half and some of the third. I felt good. I've been working very hard to get back, and it was just great to be back out there with the boys and stuff.
When we talked at Media Day back in July, I think you were kind of recovering from your hip surgery, and it was just an impingement surgery. It wasn't anything major, but did you feel like you were out longer than you had hoped to be?
No, I actually got back pretty soon. I mean, literally the date that they said that they thought they were going to clear me, that's when I got cleared. And I actually got back a week before what my goal was. I was planning to get back Maryville week, but I actually got back, today to get a few snaps, get warmed up. But I felt good. I've been practicing hard all week, and I talked to my trainer, Peggy, and she just cleared me and said, yeah, you're good to go.
How hard was it for you to watch those first couple of games, though, when your guys are out there playing, they're having defensive success, and you had to kind of watch from the sideline?
Well, I mean, me as a competitor, it's very hard. I always want to get out there and help my boys win any way I can. If I don't know if you see me on the sideline or anything, but I definitely was doing my part, trying to keep them hopped up, whatever I can do. But yeah, I hated watching, but it was one of them things. I had to be smart. I couldn't push back too quick. But I did things the right way, and now I'm healthy and ready to go.
Looking back to last year's game against Maryville, what did you feel like y'all not struggle with, but maybe what was the difference in the game, and what are you guys are hoping to correct this time around against Maryville?
Big thing is we need to stop their run. Last year we let them pound it down our throats too much, which, I'm pretty sure there was times where they had 15, 16 plays in a drive, which is not very good at all. We was in a 3-man line, had 2 walk-up guys, which are, they're like outside backers. They're not necessarily meant to be down there and mashing with offensive linemen. So we adjusted some things a little bit, and I feel like this time around will be better.
Have you started watching Maryville film, and if so, when did that start?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm one of them weirdos that I just like watching film. Randomly, when I was hurt, I would just randomly pull up game film and start watching. But Maryville film, I've been watching probably for about a week and a half now.
So when will that process start in terms of game week? Do y'all come in tomorrow and start preparing, or is that a Sunday thing?
Well, we've actually been. I mean, it's one of them things. We kind of prepare for big games at the beginning of the season. We kind of gradually build up to it. We're not one of them teams that's going to wait till the week of. We make sure that we're watching film on them, preparing, doing everything we can to be ready.
Well, great. Thanks so much for joining us tonight on 5 Star Live on the Waffle House Hotline. I want you to get back to your food. I don't want your All-Star special to get cold. And,
All right, cool.
So congratulations on the win tonight. We'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
That's Alcoa defensive end Greg Carroll, Georgia Tech commit, a guy that was in the mix for a Mr. Football Trophy a year ago, had off-season hip surgery, had an impingement in his hip, as he called it, and said he'd be out a couple of weeks and actually got back sooner than expected. And that Alcoa defense has been lights out this year. Through the first 2 games, only allowed 7 yards of total offense, 3 first downs. They pitch another shutout tonight. That defense has not allowed a point this year. The only points allowed was Blackman getting a fumble return or a pick 6, I believe, in that opening week game against Alcoa. So we'll see if that defense can take over next week in week 4 against Maryville and lead Alcoa to a win. So appreciate Gray joining us on the hotline tonight. We're going to catch another break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about some more games. We're going to look at highlights from around the area, the Powell game, the Oak Ridge game. Carter won tonight in overtime. We're going to get to that. So stick with us right here on 5 Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman.
5 Star Live Coaches and Players Hotline is brought to you by Knoxville area Waffle Houses. When you're hungry after the big game, get them smothered and covered 5-star prep style.
Located in Anderson County, just off of I-75 at exit 122, Rocky Top Realty stands ready to give our clients a real estate experience like no other. While we are located in Anderson County, we work in all of Knoxville and the surrounding areas. Our staff will get to know you and your real estate needs. We will work in tandem with you to achieve your forever home, build site, vacation home, or investment goal. Find us online at rockytophomeinfo.com or give us a call at 865-498-0183.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your exterior needs. Visit us today at 5618 North Broadway.
Since 1945, the John H. Coleman Company has been serving the East Tennessee area. We wouldn't have made it for 75 years without the experience and hard work of our quality employees. When it comes to heating and air conditioning, our goal is to make your experience stress-free, whether buying a new unit or servicing your current equipment. The way we do that is making sure you have the information you need to make the right decision. East Tennessee is our home, too. We've proudly served you for 75 years and look forward to serving you for many years to come. John H. Coleman Company, trusted since 1945.
Welcome back into 5 Star Live. Jesse Smithy along with Kevin Smith. We're here at Maryville High School where they picked up a easy win tonight against Cleveland, and they'll move on to week 4 and take on Alcoa. Certainly appreciate Derek Hunt, the Maryville head coach, for joining us in segment number 1, and Alcoa defensive lineman Gray Carroll joining us in the last segment on the Waffle House hotline. Kevin, let's take a look around the area, and we're going to run some clips from this Powell-Fulton game. Powell comes into this game undefeated. A lot of confidence coming in from that win over Anderson County. The offense is looking really good, and tonight, a 57-20 win for Powell over Fulton.
Yeah, and I'm not too surprised how big or how much Powell won by. I am surprised it was 57 points, and obviously for Powell, they didn't have to win in a nail-biter like they have been the last couple of weeks, but they are so talented, Jesse, and they showed it again tonight against a Fulton team that has some speed. This Powell team, we're going to have to watch out for them for the rest of the year.
Yeah, you see Jordan Potts there, number 5, the sophomore quarterback, really is thrown the ball extremely well, and here's my guy, Jordan Brown, who I was really excited about coming into the preseason. He just looks fantastic, but Jordan Potts has so many receivers. Number 11, Aiden Green, just a sophomore. He's a guy that I talked about a lot on Twitter this preseason, just freakishly athletic, windmill basketball dunks, all this stuff, and just another great piece for Powell to utilize.
Well, and you got on to Coach Lowe last week asking to get your man the ball at running back, and we just saw that he's handing him the ball a little bit tonight. But it is hard sometimes as a coach. You got a great quarterback and you got great receivers on the outside. You sometimes get where you only want to throw the ball sometimes. So it was good to see them getting the run game going, and they're going to need that as they progress through the season.
Yeah, and so they have Fernando Francis back there at running back as well, but Powell just really put it on Fulton tonight, and as much as we've seen Fulton this early in this season, they've gotten better. They're fighting harder. It's just they don't have the guys to really stand toe-to-toe for 4 quarters with your Powells and your Centrals and your Wests.
Yeah, and I think what's really hard for them is, that we were really impressed with their defensive line last week, but they also are the starters on the offensive line. They're not getting any breathers whatsoever, and as the game progresses into the second half, you can tell they get gassed. So one of their biggest strengths is really becoming a weakness in the second half for them.
Powell, though, again, another touchdown for Aiden Green, number 11. Fulton does come back and get some scores in the game, and Tommy Sweat is such a competitor back there at quarterback for Fulton. But this Powell team going forward, what do you think they need to do in the long haul to really cement themselves as a legit 5A contender, or have they done it already?
Well, I think they're already showing people right now. They've had 2 comeback wins. They've already shown with a sophomore, brand new starter, that they can win in the clutch moments of games. They've already proven it in 2 playoff atmospheres into their early football games. They've shown here a rival, a team that's caused problems for them over the years. They just hammered. I think for them, it comes back to what Coach Lowe said. They just need to get consistent. And if they can continue to run the football and then have all these weapons on the outside, they are super dangerous. And if that defense can get the stops that they need, this is definitely a contender in 5A football.
Yeah, Powell goes to 3-0. They take on Carnes next week in week 4. Looking over to Campbell County versus Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge just fell flat in week 2 after a nice win against Hardin Valley in week 1. I think they were 3 for 20 passing, but tonight Oak Ridge comes out. I think they told me 260 yards of offense in the first half, and that's what you want to see after a really poor showing, is a nice bounce-back effort.
Yeah, because they were really efficient the first week offensively. They had the pass game going. They had their star running back rocking and rolling, and then the defense was really impressive. So I was very shocked by the score last week, but it's good to see them getting back going here. As you see their defense is really good up front and active on the defensive line, and I like their linebackers. This is a football team, again, if they can get the offense going and get their athletes in space, they've got some speed, and again, another football team that could surprise some folks.
Jonathan Stewart, number 2 there. We got to see him in week 1 making some plays against Hardin Valley, and Oak Ridge really needed this offensive outburst to kind of regain some rhythm, some confidence. They win tonight 42-0 over Campbell County, and they need that confidence because they have a big rivalry game Thursday night against Farragut.
Yeah, and I'm shocked by this score. This is a really good win for Oak Ridge against a very well-coached Campbell County team. So great job by them. Great job getting back off the mat after last week, getting that confidence and that boost. I'm excited to see that game next week against Farragut. That's going to be a good game, and it's really going to show us where both teams are at.
This goes back to something we've been harping on really through the first few weeks of the season is we're going to see some squirrely results from here, from every now and then, because again, no scrimmages, no 7-on-7, so there might be that kind of head scratcher result maybe through week 2 or week 3 that we just didn't expect, but happens.
Yeah, and I think we've talked about it a lot on this show. You know, you get better from week 1 to week 2, and I really believe this. I think, yes, some teams are going to get better. That's just a natural progression. But I think we're also going to see some teams who have some up and down roller coaster type seasons because of everything that's happened. And what we also don't know is some of these teams will be missing players. It's not necessarily the game is canceled or they've had to move the game to another week. They may be missing 3 or 4 starters due to what's going on in the country right now. And so what happens is we don't really know, and so we're going to get squirrely scores just because we don't know if some players are out each and every week because of COVID.
And one of the roller coaster rides that we're on right now is with South Doyle. This is a team that Clark Duncan, their head coach, was really high on in the preseason, talked about them possibly being state title contenders. They get blanked in week 2 by Grace Christian. Grace Christian, not known for its defense, not known for throwing shutouts, but beat them 15-0. South Doyle had turnovers, they had miscues and mistakes, and then come out tonight in a region game against Gibbs, who, oh, by the way, had a huge win in week 2. And you're thinking, okay, it's going to be a tight ball game maybe. Nope. South Doyle wins 37-17, really started to flex its muscle, made plays in the pass game, made plays in the run game. So South Doyle kind of back on track just like Oak Ridge is.
Well, and you've said it, Coach Duncan said it, this is a team that has a lot of expectations, and I think you saw them click tonight. And last week, they went up and down the field against Grace. They just turned the ball over inside the red zone, and obviously you're never going to win when you do that. So it's good to see them getting back on track and showing who they believe that they are, that they feel like they're a state championship contender, and for them to get on track tonight, like you said, in a region game when it meant the most. Again, you don't want to lose. You don't get shut out by Grace, but that game really doesn't matter if you really, in the grand scheme of things, to come in a region game and get that victory in an impressive fashion. This is good for South Doyle as they're moving forward.
Game of the night happens out at Carter, out in Strawberry Plains. Green Hornets get a touchdown pass from Chandler Wilson to Caleb Harper, 16 yards. With about 1:19 left in that game, they get the 2-point conversion pass from Chandler Wilson, the sophomore quarterback, to tie it up at 15. They go into overtime. Chandler Wilson to Stocker, touchdown pass, 10 yards, and then they hold Seymour on 4th down. And somebody told me on Twitter, and I kind of went, but they said something special is happening out here at Carter this season, and they won their last 2 football games.
Yeah, and what a way to go into Labor Day weekend. Get you a win right there in dramatic fashion. Good job for Carter. They've been throwing the ball around a little bit, and this team has an opportunity here to continue to build on their success.
Chandler Wilson, 3 touchdown passes tonight, and well, like you said, we'll see how they carry that momentum into the coming weeks. But a nice win by Justin Presley and that young football team, and you'll see coverage on 5-Star Preps. We sent a writer out there. We sent a photographer out there. So read all about that on 5-Star Preps later on tonight. We're going to take our last break. We're going to come back. We're going to look at some more scores from around the area. We're going to give away our trivia prize. So stay tuned right here on 5-Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman.
Cooper Container, your corrugated packaging specialist for the East Tennessee area. Proud sponsor of high school sports in the 5-Star Preps coverage area.
Great ones make the plays. The dedicated ones never quit. Weekend warrior or professional, all athletes get hurt. And when you do, Tennessee Orthopedic Clinic's comprehensive sports medicine team is ready to take you on. The power of results.
I think it's great. I mean, I love worshiping and learning about God and learning better ways to be a man of God.
There's no way that you can come here and your relationship with Jesus not get stronger. It's just so powerful. The Holy Spirit is just so powerful at this camp.
I just feel like this is a lot more than just like people coming together and having fun. Like, it just helps people grow towards Christ.
Welcome back in. Jesse Smithy along with Kevin Smith. Hey, we still don't have a right answer for our trivia question tonight. That trivia question is, what year did Maryville High School win a basketball state title on a three-pointer in overtime? We've gotten close. Hashtag it 5-Star Live. And if you get the question right by the end of the show, we're going to give you a prize pack from Gold Star Nutrition. Google it.
Well,
Google it.
I was going to say,
do something.
Can there be some extra credit on who hit the shot?
It's an open book test.
You know, I want to know who hit the shot because the story is crazy.
And get on Coach T or get on TWSAA website and find that answer. We've gotten really close. I mean, come on, guys. We got technology right there at the tip of our fingers. I'll never forget that night, that championship game. All right, Kevin, let's look around the area. Alcoa, we've already mentioned 38-0 win tonight. Anderson County into region play now with some of those Chattanooga area teams. 42-0 over Hickson. Let's keep scrolling. Claiborne 28-7 over West Green. Coalfield, Seth Lowe went nuts tonight. I think I saw a 34-20 win over Harriman. Dobbins Bennett beats Bearden 40-7. That was Bearden's first game, having to go on the road after taking a couple weeks off for COVID. That's a difficult task.
Yeah, it's always difficult to play at Dobbins Bennett anyways, but to have that time off, and that's kind of really that's their first scrimmage. But still, we want to see Bearden. We want to see them getting going. And we need Bearden, I think, in the Knoxville area to get going and just helps the Knoxville high school football scene.
Young there at quarterback and some other places, but they'll get there. Gatlinburg-Pittman gets a win Thursday night, 37-0. Ethan Stinnett with 3 touchdown catches in that game. Kingston gets a win tonight. I thought Kingston was out for COVID. They're not. They're back on the slate. They win 35-14 over Austin East. And look, I know Austin East is down right now, but for a program like Kingston to ever beat Austin East, that's a huge feather in your cap.
Absolutely. I mean, it's one of the toughest programs. I remember having just straight up wars with Kingston when I was at Catholic. It's a very tough program, very prideful program, but anytime they can get a win over Austin East, it's good for them.
One of the better games of the night that I thought was going to be a really good game was Webb versus Boyd Buchanan. Boyd Buchanan, I believe, won this game a year ago. They have Carson Gay, a 6'6" tight end who's getting a lot of Division I looks. They got another slot receiver who's a Division I prospect as well. And I talked to David Meskey about this game earlier in the week. He was concerned about it. They came out and smacked Boyd Buchanan around 45-28.
I'm really shocked by the score. The head coach there at Boyd Buchanan has done a great job of reviving that program, getting kids in the school building back out. They've got a lot of basketball players now at the skill position. They're fairly big up front. And the quarterback was up for Mr. Football. He was a semifinalist last year. He's back, very athletic, can scramble, has a little Johnny Manziel wiggle to him. And I think that's what Coach Meskey was most worried about, was containing him in that offense. This is a huge win for Webb. With those struggles they had last year to get this win against a team that was a second-round 9-win football team, this shows a lot of the improvement of Webb and for their chances this year of trying to get back where they've been in the past. They've been a state championship contender in Division II.
Shows a lot of mental strength, too. I mean, they got beat down by a really good, really stout McCauley team last week, and then to come back and win that game in the fashion that they did tonight speaks well of the maturity of their team.
Very impressed with this win tonight, and again, good coaching staff. They just beat down there at Boyd Buchanan. This really, I mean, this kind of gets my eyebrows up and gets my eyes open for Webb this year because of what happened last year. This is a really quality win for them.
Oneida wins against Wartburg 42-6. Morristown West off of the COVID slate. They play their first game tonight. They beat Jefferson County 14-7. Jefferson County loves to run the football. Aiden Houston, one of the area's top running backs in terms of yards produced. And I think Jefferson County had to score late just to even get on the board.
Yeah, again, this is another one of those we're a little shocked by because Jefferson County had a good showing last week against a pretty good Ray County football team. And so for them to struggle offensively, really shocked tonight by that, but good win from Morristown West.
Loudon remains undefeated. They beat Brainerd 35-18. That's a much improved Brainerd team, so tough win for them tonight. Rockwood played on Thursday night, and Jaden Hannibal had a fantastic show. 4 touchdowns. He returned a kickoff for a touchdown. I think he had 2 receiving, a running. That guy probably weighed 120 pounds. He could barely fill out his jersey and his pads, but he was the biggest guy on that stage last night.
Hey, Jesse, he's instantly become one of my favorite football players in the area. Loved watching him last night play. You could even see his pads wiggling around as he's running, but electric. He was absolutely electric last night. He put the team on his back. It was a great show and performance that he put on, and I'm looking for more of that. I'm excited to watch him play. And if you haven't seen Rockwood play, this is a good opportunity to go support a local football team and go watch this young man play because he's fun to watch.
Yeah, John Webb always does a great job at Rockwood running that wing T offense and running it to a T, no pun intended, but just always one of the better, more underappreciated coaches in East Tennessee.
And you just said it perfect. I was going to say underrated. You're absolutely right. Coach Webb has done a phenomenal job for year in and year out. Does a great job with the wing T offense, but also does a great job defensively. He's one of the smartest football coaches I've ever been around and had the pleasure of coaching with in the 2008 All-Star game. This guy gets it done year in and year out with that program.
Don't have a final score, but I know Central got a win on the road in a battle of unbeatens at Sevier County tonight, and Caleb Fortner sat up on this set last week at Central High School and said they throw the ball a lot. I'm going to have to drop back in coverage, and I'm probably going to get a pick 6. Now, he didn't get the interception in return for a touchdown, but he ended up getting an interception tonight. I mean, that guy does not lack in confidence. Neither him or his brother, Liam Fortner, got a touchdown. I think Shannon Mills got touchdowns running the football. Will Syway, the receiver that we saw last week, had a big touchdown catch tonight, and this Central team just keeps getting better and better.
And wait till their starting running back comes back. I mean, I'm really excited about this Central football team. I actually called some of my coaching friends and said I want to coach those 2 young men, the Fortner twins. They remind me of, he reminds me of Clay Matthews coming off the edge. I love these kids. I love this Central program, just watching them play and how they conduct their business. This is a team that has playmakers on the outside, has a coaching staff that's been together for a little while. If they can continue to run the ball and then solidify defensively in the secondary, I really like this football team. We even talked about Mark Andrews, right? The defensive end that junior Adams.
Yeah, we got Mark Adams. Yep,
Mark Adams. Excuse me.
And he had a touchdown running tonight, I believe.
I thought he was phenomenal last week on the defensive line, and then he got some carries. Think about in the playoffs when it's cold, it's rainy, whatever it is, they can turn around and hand that guy the ball in tough situations and get a 4th and 1, get a 4th and 2, and then their defensive line is stout. So this team's got a lot of pieces, including the special teams that we touched on last week. I'm really excited about the Central team.
Hall's got a win tonight over at Clinton, and West gets a win on the road against Carnes, and that's going to do it for our show. Do we have a trivia winner? Okay. Lee Carroll Tornadoes wins, the second guy in a row that I know that wins. He actually won a free 5-Star Preps lifetime subscription like a year or 2 ago, and now he's a winner again. So the answer is 2007 is the year that Maryville won a state basketball championship with an overtime buzzer beater. That was Ryan Click, a sophomore at the time, hadn't scored the entire state tournament, hits the biggest shot of his life, a 3-pointer, to win in double overtime on a Saturday night. So congratulations, Lee Carroll. You're a winner again. We're going to get you a prize pack to Gold Star Nutrition, and thanks for playing our trivia question. All right, week 3 in the book. I didn't think we'd make it this far in the season with everything that was going on in the COVID during the summer.
It is it's phenomenal to see the communities out. I love it. We got football going. We got college football starting, pro football starting in a week. Listen, man, we're here to stay. Yep. I really believe that. And get out and support your local teams. I know some of these programs are selling out with pre-sales on tickets on online. But if you can, get out and support these young men and all the programs from the band to the cheerleaders and the dance team. It's exciting that everybody's being able to come together and be a part of a community, because football games are community events, Jesse. And I'm excited to be out here and excited to see all these communities getting together and being able to play ball.
And next week it doesn't get much bigger. Maryville, Alcoa in week 4. You got Fulton and Austin East next week. Down in Chattanooga, you got South Pitt and Marion County. Those 2 programs hate each other. It's rivalry week next week in week 4, and we'll be right here on 5 Star Live to cover it all. Next week, join us right here on 5 Star Live, presented by John H. Coleman.
Located in Anderson County, just off of I-75 at exit 122, Rocky Top Realty stands ready to give our clients a real estate experience like no other. While we are located in Anderson County, we work in all of Knoxville and the surrounding areas. Our staff will get to know you and your real estate needs. We will work in tandem with you to achieve your forever home, build site, vacation home, or investment goal. Find us online at rockytophomeinfo.com or give us a call at 865-498-0813.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your exterior needs. Visit us today at 5618 North Broadway.
Since 1945, the John H. Coleman Company has been serving the East Tennessee area. We wouldn't have made it for 75 years without the experience and hard work of our quality employees. When it comes to heating and air conditioning, our goal is to make your experience stress-free, whether buying a new unit or servicing your current equipment. The way we do that is making sure you have the information you need to make the right decision. East Tennessee is our home, too. We've proudly served you for 75 years and look forward to serving you for many years to come. John H. Coleman Company, trusted since 1945.
Great ones make the plays. The dedicated ones never quit. Weekend warrior or professional, all athletes get hurt. And when you do, Tennessee Orthopedic Clinic's comprehensive sports medicine team is ready to take you on. The power of results.